Hey everybody, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You are watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is the fourth session of Power Beyond Doubt. Power Beyond Doubt is a game that's currently in playtest from my buddy Jen Kitzman. It is about adult superheroes and in a comic book styled world who have to deal with issues of regaining the public's trust while also keeping up their own confidence in their ability to do things beyond mortal ken. It's powered by the apocalypse, and it was inspired by the amazing Magpie Games joint called Masks: A New Generation. Kind of masks for grown-ups, but there's some new cool tech in here that we are playing through. This is the fourth session, but it's really like the more than fourth session, like 11th-ish session for this group, because we started in masks for the first 2 months, and now we are in PbtA. Before we go around and remind ourselves of our characters, I will remind you that we have a couple of safety tools. The first, and always the best one to start with, are lines and veils. We have, well, best is the thing. One I like. There are lots of safety tools. These are the ones I've chosen to use in this game. Lines and veils. We have a line, which means that these pieces of content we're not interested in being part of our story. Line against sexual assault or sexual violence and violence to pets. We have veils, which means that these are things that the content we understand could be part of an interesting overall story, but we don't want to focus on it. We don't want to shine a light on it. And if it does happen to seem like it's going to be a thing that would occur on screen or on the panel, as it were, we will quickly fade to black. And those veils are death or endangerment of young children, graphic injuries, consensual sex, and suicide. And then we have some romance. We have some interest expressed in grief and loss, romance between characters. On top of that, of course, is X card, which is one of those full stop maneuvers that is very valuable for us, and I highly encourage you to use it at any time that you feel is appropriate. X card is whenever this fiction or something going on in the game bothers you, the person, because you are more important than any canon or fiction or story that we are spinning. You throw up that X card by notifying me, by using the awesome roll for your party, or typing a note in our chat here on the Zoom video conference, and then we will stop play, and I'll, if it's not immediately obvious, I will ask what was X carded. I will not challenge you on it, just try to understand what that content was so we can excise it from our play. Then we'll figure out how to get around it and continue on having our fun. With all of that preamble done, let's go around the horn and reintroduce our characters. David, if you could introduce yourself and introduce your character, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, hi, I am David J. On the internet. I go by he, him pronouns. I am playing Eclipse, also known as Maya Moreno. She was once known as Shadow Boxer, but now has grown into her, I don't want to say final form, current form. There we go. Eclipse. She is a much darker hero than she was before. She has a sweet motorcycle. She's a bit, I guess darker. I was looking for another word for dark, but she's just very, very dark. And that's her.
That's right. She is the Avenger playbook. Thank you very much, David. Sherry, you're up. Introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
My name is Sherry. I go by the she, her pronouns. I am playing Trinity. They go by the they, them pronouns. Sometimes she, her, because that's what she looks like the most. She is playing, they are playing the Tarnished, which is that people think badly of you. You have done something in your history that has given you a bad reputation, and the way that you move through the world now is not helping that in any way, shape, or form. That would be the story of Trinity. So,
thank you so much. Last but certainly not least, Sawyer, please introduce yourself and your character.
I'm Sawyer, also known as Ferret. I run Fairtime Games online, and you can follow us at Fairtime on Twitter. It is a pretty slow profile, so follow us anyway. I am playing Yuan A. Baylor, also known as the Fomorian. He is playing the Defender Playbook, which is like your Captain America's, your Wonder Woman, your kind of Cassandra Cain, if you think about her duty to protect life. So he is trying to right the cycle and keep his marriage afloat and stop the Leonans from taking over the world because he likes the world. It's pretty cool.
And you currently live here, so that's also an important lot. You found out about a plot by the Lianan Shi to appear. They kind of taken on and replaced a number of important officials and thought leaders and even social media stars throughout New Gauntlet City. And they were using that to undermine the authorities and slowly take over. But you guys found out about this dirty plot. And by you, I mean the Fomorian convinced one of the members of this plot to turncoat, and Amara Sarbella joined forces with you guys by selling out her former friends, the other Leonin. You went back to your old high school, Hope Prep, saw all the small children. They all looked like they were 12, but they were actually in high school, or so you were told. Went to the gym and ran into one of your old instructors who turned out had been replaced as well. And you forced your way into the pocket dimension that the Lianan had set up with these weird crystals where they were keeping everyone who had been stolen away, along with some fake people, some actual guardians, which Eclipse very cleverly figured out, saved you guys from another huge fight. You were able to save everyone. You got President Maelstrom, the Dean of Hope Prep, and he went and put Hope Prep under shelter in place for everybody and locked it down so that you guys could take care of business. Then we skip through a little bit of time. Venus is off with Griselda Alatant, the real one, because there was a fake one. So she is unavailable. And I believe a couple of our session enders or end of the particular comic issue had Eclipse visiting the grave of her aunt because one of the false crystallized people, or one of the guardians of the Lianan Shi, appeared like Maya's aunt. And Threnody had to make sure that I remember this well, so Sherry helped me out. But basically, you had gone back to the Endeavor's mansion and used some cold wrought iron to make sure that things were secure just spin it back up again. Make sure I have that right. What is it that Threnody had? What had they done to the door of Lady Elena? Or was it to their own door?
It was to their own door.
Okay, to their own door. Okay, that's
right.
where when I was re-listening to it, I got a little lost. But so just fortified their own door to make sure, kind of a, hey, Lady Elena, don't mess with my stuff kind of thing.
Exactly. There's a sort of, ambiguity that goes along in the House of Mages where, your allies that are extra dimensional are your own business until you drag it into another mage's. So that's, and I don't think she thinks she can take Lady Elena yet. She needs to learn more about her.
I couldn't recall and couldn't find in my notes. Did we name the black cat that follows Lady Elena around?
It was Puppy.
Was it?
That's what Elaine called it back in the day.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you very much. All right. Now, what was our end of issue for Yuan Baylor?
Grand feast with his entire family in the tiny apartment as Excelsior the pseudo dragon flew around with Snickerdoodle the cat batting in its tail.
Nice. Cool. So let's pick up where. Oh, the Endeavors were from the Endeavor's first appearance for my playing in games was from the Masks game, but I think Sherry may have like encountered Endeavors previously, or was this a thing that no, it just came out fully formed from your brain like Athena from Zeus's.
Yep, it
That's
hurt
amazing.
just that much. So
I'm sure. Splitting headache. Ha
Yeah.
ha ha. Sorry, it's dumb. It's very bad. So you guys foiled that plot, and I think that as we had discussed with before we went live with the game, David and David had a question. I had a point of confusion in the rules where I had allowed Eclipse to go to a 3 confidence, and that is verboten. And this is in playtest, so I'm going to forgive myself. I just want to point out that what that does is it resets your track to 0. So your confidence is now 0. If you check in the character keeper, I've already made that change, and it gives me a hard move. So Eclipse, where is it that Donnie D finds you? Do you think maybe we pick right back up at the graveyard, like you're walking away from the graveyard, and of course it's dark and it's all broody there? Does that sound good?
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Nice. So you're walking back to your totally kick-ass motorcycle when a pair of headlights, like the lights come across, and we have the cool like darkness and the almost like negative image of Eclipse moving towards her motorcycle, and then the door opens and it starts to rain. And rain starts coming down, and Donnie D, your financier and backer and erstwhile friend with benefits, steps out and he says, Maya.
Donnie.
Visiting her grave again.
Just a long pause, like, yeah.
What's going on? Get in the car. Let's talk.
She kind of does like the look around and then gets in.
He doesn't start up the car. He knows that you'll want to get back to your motorcycle. You've probably got things to do. You've been out of touch for a while. Is this why, or is there something else?
And I think she just ignores that completely and just says, I had to go back to the school earlier. Back to prep.
I bet that was fun.
Yeah, there was some Fae there, kind of shape-shifting people. I'll spare you the details, but they're trying to take it over, but we fixed that. Whatever. But, they had these other copies of different people, and somehow they had she kind of just, I don't know, gestures, like she just faces maybe just back toward the graveyard. She's like, they had some copies of people that they shouldn't have been able to know about. Made me remember things that I don't like to remember, at least on those terms. Oh no, I think you're muted.
They're trying to get into your head then, huh?
Yeah. I don't know how they would know about that. But I don't know. I guess with magic, anything's possible.
You don't think Yuan told them?
She kind of looks at him and gives him a look. It's like, no.
Threndy, maybe?
Absolutely not. No. If I can trust anybody, it's those two.
Really? After 10 years of not working with them, after 10 years of the partnership that we've developed together, you ignore me and magic starts causing you some major problems. They're both magical, but they're not to blame. I mean, I'm not the super detective you are, Maya, but I see 2 and 2 and it looks a lot like 4 to me.
Yeah, that's great. I think the opposite of me. She's like totally stone faced. She's like, all right, are we done here, Donnie? Did you have something to tell me?
We're not done, but we can stop talking for now. Have a good night.
All right. Yeah. If you need me, maybe don't wait around my aunt's gravesite. She just leaves.
Nice. Go out, you close the door, and he goes, "Put a tracker on your stupid motorcycle. I'm not a creeper." Throws the car into drive and backs out angrily.
Totally a creeper, he hears a whisper.
Yeah, editor's note. He's kind of a little creeper, baby, sort of. Sweet. So because I love to do tonal flips, we'll pick up at the huge reunion at Yuan's, where you have far too many people for such a small apartment. You served all kinds of food, and per the good husband that he is, Janos is busy washing dishes, because you guys don't have a dishwasher. That would be too expensive. So Janos is washing dishes, and I think that Amara and Elflight are seated at the table, and they are drinking maybe the last bit of wine. I'm not sure how much wine would be left, but they've had quite a bit of wine, and I think that the remainder of your food, like some of it, is down on a plate on the floor as Excelsior is munching away quickly, like does a thing where he pulls up the little food to his mouth and gnashes away. What is Yuan doing? Once Yuan is done with all of the, oh yeah, that's sorry. We totally could have done die rolls and piercing masks. I was setting it up too. I was so excited for that, and I should have just like prodded you. Sorry about that, David.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I was just way too into the grittiness, though.
I know, and I was like so into it too.
Me too.
I'm a bad MC sometimes when I get like all caught up in the drama. I forget rules, and we all freeform it. It's bad. I'm a terrible playtester. I'm sorry, Jen. Yuan, what are you doing at the end of this cozy little scene?
I'm drying the dishes. I'm not going to let Janos do the dish work by himself.
Nice.
I think game-wise, so that since we do want to test out these moves, I am grounding myself.
Yes. Yes, ground yourself. When you take some time to ground yourself, reminding yourself why you do this and who you do this for. Frame a quick scene. I helped you by framing it, but I think it's perfect. It's with one of your touchstones, and they will shift your confidence or trust 1 towards 0. So let's look at the Fomorian. You've got a confidence of 2 and a trust of 0. Wow, does it make sense to shift your confidence closer towards being normal? Yeah, I guess so. So I'm going to shift your trust from a 2 to a 1.
Okay, I think I think this is very Fae-like, and this is a homey scene, but Yuan still has his Baelor's claw at his side. Janosch's axe that he's been given, or the hatchet Vladia, is on the counter with just near the dishes that are being dried or washed. And Yuan looks over and then kind of looks back at Elflight and Amara. It's like, is this what you would want, or do you miss your time at the Fey courts as my prince, as my confidant, my consort?
I really enjoyed the food tonight, but I won't lie. There are some things we had at the court that were pretty bananas.
Do you think Threnody is right that I should be trying to get back to the court and, with the cycle broken, claim my rightful place?
If you don't, who will?
I think Yuan smiles, and there's this moment of Snickerdoodle the cat coming over, and
Oh, that's right. Yes, Snickerdoodle the cat.
who, just for in chat.
Oh, we have a picture of Snickerdoodle. Awesome.
Yes.
Oh, now, so how does Snickerdoodle and Excelsior get along?
Very well. I think Excelsior generally likes to pretend he doesn't like Snickerdoodle, but she mainly just cozies up and purrs to him, and that's extra warmth. So he's okay with her playing with his tail.
Nice. That's great.
And Yuan will. I think there are too many dishes to really fit in the drying station, but due to Fey magic, it's holding more than it should with that Doctor Who space.
Nice.
And Yuan just kind of grins a little. It's like, I've been thinking, if Elaine is able to break the cycle like she did, and we go to hell with, I wouldn't offer my own soul, but maybe trade the Leon and She's place and bring the Fomorian court into this world. Give you the best of both worlds.
Thank you. Do you think maybe you should talk to the court about this address change?
I do, and I'm going to be tapping into my own Gauntlet Quarterly to check out Polychromatic Alliance, as Hollowed Park has recently been vacated with the curing of the Hollowed Plague. We would have a place for the court to live.
Do they want to move?
The Fomorians are held in contempt by many Fey courts. We thrive through our own strength and wit. Here, we would not be gods, not like Venus is, but we would be more than accepted, I would believe.
Sounds pretty interesting. If your people are interested in the change, why not, right? It would be cool to have both worlds.
Yeah, I think Yuan gives him a little shoulder bump and it's like, besides, you always looked fabulous in a crown.
Thanks. And he kind of, he's bashful a little bit. His cheeks color, and then you hear Snickerdoodle like meow, and Excelsior grabs the last bit of ham and scampers away, holding it in his mouth, and kind of leaving ham leavings, and Janosch like finish up here, and he goes to clean up after them. Elflight says, "Oh, it is revolting. You're so. What is the term? You're taken where you're. What is the thing?" And she's gesturing over to her new buddy, Amara Sarbella. Did where he's he's pecked? What is the thing with birds? The chickens? No, that's not. No, what is it? Whip? No. What is the thing? Tell me, Yuan. What is the phrase for you being so weak around a human?
Oh, that would be domestic bliss. I'm so sorry that you've lost the ability to learn about humans for the past 10 years. Maybe if you had not been so brash and sullen to join the wrong side.
She pours the last bit of wine as you're saying this. She drinks it down, and then she throws the glass on the ground and says, "This wine was so good."
It was, and such a great toast, my cousin. I will clean it up because this is my house and you did earn your keep. Hospitality is yours for 3 days.
What happens in 3 days, cousin? Do I get an extension?
That's just when we go on the joys of Craigslist.
Who is this Craig?
I do not know. He is quite hard to pin down for a human. He may be a meta with invisibility powers. I have yet to decipher his locale, but his lists are sometimes good, sometimes painted with human lust.
Human lust doesn't bother me. Why will we go to this list of Craigs?
Because you'll be finding your own fiefdom in the company of mortals.
Does this fiefdom come with a small cat to keep me warm when I sleep?
No, that is something we had to procure on our own.
So I will be taking Snickerdoodle. I see.
Oh dear cousin, no. Hospitality does not reach that far. You can take Excelsior with you, but actually, if you pledge yourself to my cause, not the downfall of the Leonin, of course, that is obviously what we both want, but
obviously
bring the Fomorian court here and treat me as my rightful place as the Fomorian king, I will offer you knighthood in the new Fomorian kingdom.
Ooh, sounds like you're trying to persuade her. Let's see if you can pull that off.
It does, and thankfully my trust has been elevated. Or is this confidence?
It is trust. What do you mean your trust has been elevated? I thought it was a 1.
Yeah, it was a
or
zero.
I mean.
Yeah.
No. Wait.
You put it down to a 0?
Yeah. The way that ground yourself is, it actually brings you back towards 0. And since trust already was a 0, I moved your confidence from a 2 to a 1.
Gotcha. Never mind. Yeah. Let me check. I do not think she is a touchstone.
Oh, so hard. So hurtful. Why would you not make her a touchstone? She'd be a great touchstone.
Yeah, she should have been.
What must I do to be thine touchstone? It's just thine every once in a while, just because it seems cool. I've already moved your confidence down.
God. Yeah, so I got a 6.
Oh my.
Use the touchstone.
Oh, well, Amara is here.
True.
If I can rope Amara into this, could I raise that to a 7?
I'm cool with that. Amara will speak up and say, "Come, we will become knights together. We will spread Viscera. We will slay the wicked. We will hunt down Leon and she and string them from the yardarms, the gates, the flagpoles. That's what they call them, the flags with poles. Yes. Elflight says, we wholesale slaughter is part of the being a knight for Fomorian? If so, I'm moderately interested.
It is not wholesale slaughter as much as getting government permission, I have found. But we will definitely be having that. And with the Leonin, obviously we cannot leave them to be in this realm. And I think to persuade them to be his knights, he will go to the closet, which is also the weapons locker he has in his apartment. And
so you, like, move the stand-up vacuum, and
yeah, like he moves the vacuum and like the the coats for winter that they have, and pulls out this short sword for Amara, and I think of course for Elflight, a bastard sword, lined with cold iron on the edge.
Ooh.
To use against the Leonin, if I may.
She hefts it. And Amara is much more cautious with a cold iron edged weapon. Does it have, like the short sword, does it have a scabbard, or is it just a naked blade that you hand to her?
They both have scabbards with them, because I mean, the Fomorians can handle cold iron. It still hurts if it cuts you.
So I think Amara pulls it out, looks at it, and then quickly sheathes it. Whereas Elflight like pulls hers out, just kind of whips it around a few times, and she likes it. Oh, this weight is good, not as good as the one I had before. It was. Did you know that they lost it in the thing where you turn in all of your worldly possessions so that you can serve an incredibly long sentence in boredom? They take all of your things, and they do not return my weapon to me.
Yeah, I think Yuan is like, there's like this thought bubble that is just a picture of Yuan pawning it to get Maya and Negatory out of the trouble that they got into.
This sword is not nearly as nice as the sword that I had once before, but the sword makes the elf, or the elf does not make the sword. Wait. Yes. No. It is fine. I will win many honors with this sword as well. Thank you, cousin. We will destroy the Leonin, and you will bring the Fomorians here and become the next king. This is how it should be. Because then
it should be. He says how it should be as he's like bent over with, got the little hand broom and just like sweeping up the glass from on his knees. How it should be.
Cool. Anything more you wanted from the scene?
No, I think that is more than I expected. So that is great.
Cool. A foolish and boisterous Elflight will soon be your knight. Oh goodness. Threnody. So you have made it clear that you know at least something about what has befallen, right? By making sure that you're well guarded. Is there anything you wanted to do vis-a-vis PbtA or Lady Elena while in the Endeavors mansion?
I mean, PbtA was a great cat when I was a kid. It was also Lady Elena's familiar, so I don't know. She's feeling a little betrayed by Puppy. That's definitely part of it. I think part of it is she's trying to figure out what she's supposed to do. Like, she's supposed to be getting ready for, a big fight with Lady Elena? Or is she supposed to lodge her? I think she'll probably go and talk to Magazelden.
Magazelden? Whoa, who's that?
Wendy.
Wendy? Is that from the Masks game and I just didn't take good notes? Can you...
That is the one who was my teacher, Eldon Gwinty.
Oh, I heard Magus Eldon. I heard Magazelden is one word and I was thrown off. I'm so sorry. No, that's me. That's me. Okay, cool. Yeah. And of course, he's the Magus who is most estimable Magus. He's the guy who has the office chair that he wheels around to various places. So, yeah. So, oh, you would have gotten a 7 anyway? Okay. All right, good. So I just saw the note there. You would find Eldon in a common area. He is currently chatting with Dominique. The two of them are playing a game of chess. They're seated in front of a fire, right? And a pair of cozy leather armchairs. And Eldon looks up as you come in. And Dominique, of course, will look over once she sees that Eldon's not making a move.
Question. Any rules for if you find yourself and another member of the Endeavors on opposite sides of a fairly large struggle for the power over current reality in this dimension?
Are you speaking about a particular reality or all of reality for this dimension?
I think as much reality as the other side can grab. So how about that?
He looks over to Dominique. There have been a few unpleasant times with the Endeavors in the past, as you know. Generally, if they are on opposite sides, there is the possibility of agreeing to avoid direct confrontation, which is the default. Members of the Endeavor cannot attack another outside of a sanctioned event. And then, of course, if that is unavoidable, then a contest of some kind between the two who are in opposition, with the victor remaining in the conflict and the loser stepping out, is another alternative. I'm taking that this is not a theoretical question, Threnzy. What's transpired here?
I would say that, and she sort of stops and goes, it's a little theoretical.
All right.
Not as theoretical as I would like it to be. So, for the time being, all I know is an alliance that is difficult. So, someone has made, not I. Anyway, I will figure it out. I will go look at the bylaws.
Very well. Please let me know if there is any way I can help you. Are you under threat now?
I don't know.
Do you feel as if you're in danger?
I don't know.
I've shown you enough to where you can protect yourself, and rest assured, I would avenge your untimely death.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
I know. You just have to sniff her, takes a little sip. It's your move, darling.
Yep, and she leaves. All right. Yeah, and I think, she'll go to the library and look up, how do you say, the different trials that the mages have been set to and the different sorts of contests.
Fun. Cool. So I think we don't necessarily have to throw that into a movie. I just think that would be a really interesting thing for her to do, unless you wanted to cloister yourself in research, which you're welcome to do.
Well, I guess I got the evening. Yeah, sure. So, yeah, let's do that. We haven't done the cloister thing, have we?
All right. When you dig in, this is on B-Plot Moves, starts at row 76. When you dig in and do some serious research on a problem, either in the library or the lab, roll with genius. This is not a trust or confidence aligned move.
Okay. I am moving one die off to the side, rolling the two that are still paired with each other. I rolled an 11, and I think I have a genius of 1. So 12.
Well, that's pretty amazing. With a 10 plus, you get to pick 2 options.
Let's see here. I think I discover a flaw or weakness in someone or something.
Interesting.
And I'm going to say, because I still have that key that went to the dimension, it tells me something about how that magic was done. And let's see here. And I learn where someone or something came from. And I think it's Puppy. I want to know where Puppy came from.
All right. We'll start with Puppy.
All right.
You do quite a bit of research, starting from the obvious. Alden Quinty had pointed you towards ritualistic combat in previous endeavors, conflicts. You end up going down the rabbit hole trying to understand the Puppy cat, and it's difficult, of course, because Puppy was not its original name, but you come to find that Puppy cat is an ancient thing. It has been in the form of a cat since the time of the Egyptians. It is the cat that was worshipped by Egyptians that all pictures of cats have come from that time on hieroglyphs and the like. And it is also, it has in the past been in conflict with Sekhmet, the god of war and healing of the Egyptian pantheon.
So why would it be goofing around with the Li and she who are...
Or not Egyptian in any way, shape, or form? That is an interesting question. And then you wanted to find a weakness? Is that the other thing about?
Yeah.
In
Probably
particular?
Lady Elena, something about her magic.
You study the key and cross-reference it to the treatises and other journals that have been written about Lady Elena's magic, and you find that this dimension, this portal, this key, it is a new kind of magic for her. It does not map well to the more colorful uses of her power. The spells that she has been known for are musical in nature and not unlike what you as Trinity can do. But this creation of a pocket dimension and the particular key, that is something altogether new for her.
So she learned it for this purpose?
Perhaps.
I think I'll have to talk to her.
Oh, that seems brave. You're going to wait around and try to find her when she comes out of her room, or are you going to go knock on her door?
I guess I'll knock on her door.
Cool. You head over to knock on her door. Her door, while all of the doors to the particular members of the Endeavors are unique and attuned to their particular personality. Lady Elena's door, much like her, is very gothic and is definitely a Victorian style to the particular knob. And you use the knocker. She comes to the door surprisingly quickly. Opens it up. There's no like peering out or calling to see who is there. And she answers the door alone. Serenity,
Lady Elena.
you have come visiting at a late hour.
I thought I should return this to you. And I'll give her the key.
She reaches out, holds the key in her hand. Thank you.
I stumbled across it this evening.
Did you? And where did you stumble across it?
In the gym.
You have me at a loss. What, Jim?
Gosh. Not very good at Pierce the Mask.
Oh, really? Well, I think that's what you stumbled into, have you not?
I think so.
I think so,
Dang
too.
it. Okay.
By the way, we have renamed Pierce the Mask because Rich cajoled somebody into doing it. Now unmask someone!
Oh, awesome. Okay. All right. So I'm rolling up any humanity, which I think is a 0. Oh, I rolled 12. I rolled boxcars.
Jeez. I think you're fine.
Okay.
If you roll boxcars, you're for unmask someone, it is now... Oh, I misspelled the word lift because I'm a doof. You lift up someone's mask to see the person beneath. Roll with humanity. Your humanity is a 0, and this is a trust line thing, so it's a 1. So you actually got a 13. You get to ask 3 questions from unmask someone, which is on row 57 of the basic moves.
Okay, 57. There it is. All right. Let's see. Am I overburdened? No.
You are
No.
not. You would have
No,
to have a
this is-
2. And
Okay. So good. Let's see here. What are you really planning?
at the moment, she's planning on trying to get you to reveal to her what you know of this key.
All right. And what do you intend to do?
That's tough. What does she intend to do? If you don't reveal more about this key, her intentions are to find out how you know about this key and what you know about this key. So she will get the answer. She hopes that it will be from a polite conversation with you, but if not, then she'll take other steps.
How could I get her character to break off her association with the Leon She?
An open conversation would likely be very fruitful.
Okay. So I say, pocket dimension, people being held down there that had been replaced by Leon She changelings. Our intelligence suggests that they're planning to take over this world. If nothing else, they're going to cause a lot of bloodshed.
And what led you to me? from this key?
When I touched it, I saw your silhouette. I saw a puppy's silhouette. Something indelible in it.
I see. Can we step outside for a moment?
Certainly.
And she steps out into the hallway and closes the door, and you see a quick kind of purple nimbus form around the seal of the door. I have no knowledge of this key. I have never seen this key before.
But it's yours.
I have never seen this key until you first showed it to me, Sandy. I don't understand how it could be tied to me.
Is it tied to puppy?
It's doubtful. That seems unlikely.
Why do you think so? He's powerful. He's old.
Yes. What could a bunch of Leon and she offer Puppy Cat that I do not, that the Endeavors do not?
I don't know. Used to be worshipped.
She kind of leans back against the wall, crosses her arms, takes on a thoughtful pose. This. The sorceress and her familiar cannot be parted. We have never quarreled.
Maybe you should. It's another way of paying attention.
Are you suggesting the Puppy Cat may be doing this to get my attention?
Still a cat.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
I hope that puppy isn't in deep.
As do I.
If
As you
need
know,
any
our
help,
fates are intertwined. I have pledged a portion of my soul to Puppy Cat, and he has done the same to me. Whatever befalls him befalls me. Thank you. I do not enjoy ignorance, and of this I was, but now I have learned a sliver of something. Are you well?
I'm fine.
Good.
If you need anything, just say.
I shall.
Maybe get yourself some cold iron.
Indeed. She reaches up and kind of squeezes your shoulder, almost affectionately, and then she turns to head to her door. Let her go?
I think so.
Okay. I would like to go ahead and call a quick break. So it is 11 after. Let's take like 5 to 7 minutes, and then I'd like to have a scene with everybody together. We'll figure out why. Hey Sawyer, did you see the article that I don't know if you had CBS All Access, but Star Trek Picard, all the episodes are free to view for the next week or so.
Oh, I had not seen that.
Yeah, EW had a link on that. Let me see where they're at. Now free to non-subscribers, non-paid subscribers, of course. You have to sign up for the CBS streaming service to watch the show. There's a coupon code that unlocks Picard called GIFT. You get a 1 month free trial, which includes all shows on the service. So there's the link in case you're interested. It's worth it. It's a different lens on Star Trek, but I enjoy it. Pretty much it's like Picard fanfic, and I mean, I'm here for that. So there you go. Cool. So let's pick up. Where is it that you guys would meet up to exchange notes and all that fun stuff?
Hi. Someplace near you wants.
Oh, I mean, he already revealed he had a warehouse that he'd been hiding from his husband. We can meet there.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, keep hiding that from your husband.
Oh, no, I mean, it's not hidden. He took John O'Shoot last time.
Oh, right. Okay, so you had been hiding it and no longer is hiding
Yeah.
it. Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
So who among Yuan's people are here? Is just Yuan by himself?
If we're talking about the Leon and She, my knights will have to be by my side. I promised them that they would see battle.
Cool. How is this warehouse? Is this a place for a living space? Is it a storage warehouse?
It was turned into a place that is basically a forge for cold iron works. I think it has. I think like it was a like sort of just sleazy warehouse type thing. There's long staircases with the like single walkway up top, maybe 2x2 if you're really thin, and like that manager's office that has been turned into the meeting room, the tactical knowledge room.
Cool. So then that means that both Elflight and Amara will be here, but they don't have to be directly involved.
They can be like prowling the grounds or, making more cold iron weapons. I mean.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like the idea of them making more weapons. Yeah. Cool. So, who wants to lead off the conversation? Threndy's got new information, so that might be a place to start.
Yeah, but I can't tell about the new information until I pick the best chair in the office. So she goes through and tries them all.
Appropriate.
Yeah,
priority.
you see her do the Gwinty slump to try, where he's got his elbows on the arms. Tries them all. Just gets one that fits her right. Then she scoots up to the table. That's all. Wait.
Yeah, I think she has like the one like computer chair in the office, the big luxurious leather and stuffed computer chair, and Maya and Yuan have the folding chairs on the other side of the desk.
That's fine. She kind of goes, "Let's really get yourself some chairs."
I didn't.
I was just gonna say Maya's probably the type that's just like standing like with her arms crossed, just like surveying everything. Doesn't even sit down yet.
Yeah. Yuan is making the folding chair look good and just kind of looks awkward. I had never expected to have allies here. I could use chairs, and maybe a plant to liven up the room?
Plant would be lovely. So, so I have a weird story. You know that dimension, pocket dimension that we went to?
Yes, it will haunt my nightmares for ages.
It's pretty terrible. Um, it did it seem particularly Leonin to you? And if so, which parts? The crystals?
I am sorry to say that I do not know too much about the Leonin. I was a prisoner. I was not allowed access to their inner secrets. If they work with crystals, it would not surprise me, but I would not know a Leonin crystal from say a Banshee crystal or a Catchy crystal.
Okay. I just wondered. Um, so I went to check with Lady Elena, who I associated with the key. More correctly, I did see Puppy, and that's why I attached it to her. But it turns out that Puppy is actually an incredibly powerful old cat spirit familiar, like worshipped back in ancient times here. Now he is Lady Elena's familiar, but I suspect, as does Lady Elena, that it may be Puppy that made the pocket dimension and may have some deal or debt with the Leon and she, or a plot.
That is intriguing. There is the fairy cat. It could have something to. I mean, mingling ancient essence with that of the Fey realm could create an entirely new. I do not know. It has potential, and potential breeds so much.
Is that a thing that happens often with the Fae?
Well, I think he looks kind of awkward. Some of us have a liking of mixing our essences with those that do not share it. I mean,
She sort of stops and says, so you and some of your brethren have always been like that?
it happens. I mean, me and Janosch, for example, are. It
Well,
is
I
not unheard
understand.
of.
And she sort of stops and goes, but I have always heard that the Fae had trouble innovating and that they clung to the old ways.
Some do, but some of us see the potential in the imagination of mortals, the imagination of those that do not share our cycles, and to combine the glamour with their imagination, their potential. It always, I mean, that is how courts are created.
So do you think there's someone like you in the Leanne and She court?
I would not put it past them at all. I mean, the queen must have a successor. But the thing is, what I do not understand what they would be wanting with this world. And
Well, that's what I was asking, is why would they be intrigued with this world? I
I
mean, they
think
want
that,
to take it over, is what they said, right?
yeah, and I think he, so like, is this world just going to be tribute to what is created with this being? Is how powerful is Elena's being? I mean, she is familiar. She has tamed him. He was a god. He cannot still have that power, can he?
And she goes, she gives some of her soul to Puppy. Puppy gives some to her.
Like, no offense, but would a god slum with a witch?
I don't know. Would a Fae slum with a human?
Point. My apologies.
I have no skin in the game. I don't understand what's going on. And if this was simply something Puppy did because Puppy could, or if Puppy has something that they desire. You need to have an eye out for that.
You do say he was a god, though. He
He's
was.
worshipped.
This world could be then tribute to him to get them on his side.
All right.
The one thing I know about the Leonin is they do nothing by halves.
So the whole world would be tribute.
I think if there's a moment of levity in this issue, there's a panel of Eclipse, just cross your arms still and just like, all right, if I have to beat up a puppy, I mean, I'm not gonna like that. That's a little too much.
Oh, Puppy is an elder cat god.
A cat's kind of even worse, but
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna get into a fist fight, we don't want to get into a fist fight with Puppy.
No. I would like to get in a fist fight with the Queen of the Leonin, though. Now that would be fun.
All right. All I know is that there's some form of alliance. That was why I asked about the crystals, is if I could start to understand how much sharing there is, if that makes any sense.
Well,
there's doing work for someone and then there's pitching in with someone. It's two different things.
If they want to combine their forces the way the Fae do, I assume they would be doing whatever Puppy wanted, which, knowing a cat's ego...
All right.
Do we maybe want to do that B move of asking questions and stuff,
Yeah,
or putting the pieces together?
Putting the pieces together. Yeah.
I wish I had already jumped in with that. So put the pieces together is what we are doing. So when you need to put the pieces together, call a team meeting. Bam.
Jim.
Start with the person who called the meeting. I mean, I guess we'll go with Trinity because you had new information.
Yep.
That player asks a teammate one of these questions. Once the player answers the question, they pick someone else to ask the next question. The process repeats until each player has asked something. When the questions and answers are finished, the MC will provide a new detail or lead. The person who called the meeting has an opportunity to spend a team to ask the MC a question directly.
Okay. So who asked the first question? Me?
Yes.
What do the Leon and she, from everything I've seen, what do they really bring to the table for Puppy?
And then who are you asking of that? You ask one of the players.
Okay, so I do ask you one. I'm like, what's their real root power? Something that he can't do himself.
If he wants devotion, they would provide the most undiluted, powerful devotion something that once was worshipped could ever ask for.
All right.
And now Duan would ask a question of Eclipse from the list, and then Eclipse asks a question of Trinity, and then once the circle is complete, unless there are other questions you want to ask each other, you then can turn and ask. I will provide a lead or detail.
Okay. I just made up a question. I didn't read the questions that were provided. I'm a bad
You
human
never
being.
read the questions they're provided.
I know. That's
I
because
mean,
I'm
not never, rarely.
rarely unless you specifically say I have to. Yeah.
I thought you were looking at them, but I didn't even check to see if you were cheating.
No, you know I'm the big cheater when it comes to questions. You said you have some questions, and I'm like, great, some questions. I got those.
Sounds like, what you must want to learn about the bond between Puppy and Leonin to me.
Yes.
There you go. So what question will Yuan ask of Eclipse?
Elon, what was your answer real fast? Sorry, I was kind of reading questions.
That if Puppy wants devotion, by worship that he once had, the Leonin provide the most undiluted, powerful devotion in the multiverse.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so Maya, what would make you do something like the Leonin Queen, i.e. throw in your devotion behind someone?
And so, let's see. Are we asking that in character, or what? I guess what level are we at?
Yeah, I think in character, you want to basically be. It's well, we can always trust Eclipse. In sort of the way what would make you betray us?
Gotcha. Yeah, and she's like, so I'll answer this both ways, in character and out of character, right? So I think she just kind of just scoffs, I guess, and just listen, like I said, you folks are just some of the most powerful sorcerers in the world from a magical court, an extra dimensional thing. I'm not looking for anything. I'm just living my life, just dealing with the stuff from my past. And I'm here to help you as much as I can, and I will. I'm both there for you, but I don't know how much I can bring, but I'm going to bring it, whatever I can. And I think that's her character thing. And then that maybe on the, I don't know if you can pick this up on an interpersonal level or something, but just she's got some really tragic things in the past. If someone can tempt her to kind of bring these, or kind of fix those wrongs from the past, like bring her aunt back or something, that would definitely tempt her.
If I could figure out how to do that, it would totally have been done. I mean, my ex, Junior. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So guess you get to ask.
Oh yeah, I just read your chat there, and we're totally on the same page there. That was perfect. So I asked a question to Threnody, right? Okay, perfect. Let's see. Mostly just testing out these rules, see how they work. Threnody, what do you remember about Puppy that I may have missed?
So, Puppy, like all familiars, has a strong ability to appear and disappear, a sort of dimensional travel that they do as they wish or as called for, all of those things. But Puppy was always annoyed if they disappeared and they knew that you were aware of it and you didn't look for them or chase after them or tell them when they came back that you had missed them.
Yeah, that's good. Playing to that devotion first.
So here is, so when the questions and answers are finished, the MC will provide a new detail or lead. If you recall from our 10-year jump, one of the things that took place during that time period was what Venus called the Gods' War. During that time, almost all of the surviving Egyptian pantheon was destroyed. Sekhmet was one of the few who survived, Sekhmet being one of the touchstones for Venus. And of course, there are two things other than metaphysical violence. There are two things that can cause a pantheon to wane. The members are killed, or no one honors or worships or is devoted to them. So it has been a twofold decline for all members of that pantheon that was precipitated. That was an eventual fade, but then the Gods' War is one of those where it just spiked up really, really high. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Does that flow? Okay, cool.
And then I can spend a team to ask you a question directly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do that. Although we'll say, is Puppy working with Sekhmet then?
Puppy is not working with Sekhmet because Sekhmet is close enough to Venus to where that will be found out. Right? You just go do your thing. So then this would be a message from Donnie saying, Captain Mikolas of Precinct 13 wants to see you. She's very insistent.
This is someone we know, right?
Yes. She is the captain of Precinct 13, which is kind of the X-Files precinct, Gotham City PD. She is also the one who asked you guys for help with the mayor. So maybe she just wants to give you like an award.
Yeah, so shoot. Man, okay. I was like, this would be lame if she just had like a smartphone she was looking at. But no, to make it more comic booky, as this was going on, she got like an alert on her like heads up display or something. Like she's definitely got like Donnie Darko contacts or something in.
Yeah.
And she like taps something like hidden like on her shoulder or something. That's just the button to bring it up. And she sees like at the, I don't know, the panel, we see like the little text message bubble. And she's just, all right, well, I think we have a lot to think about, but I guess Captain Mikolas is, has some words with me. I might have to reconvene with you and see what she wants.
Give me a minute. Eclipse, should I say? I would have words with you alone.
Okay. No problem. I'm sure she can wait.
We can walk and talk. It should not take long. Like he'll lead her out of the room and sort of look back. I believe that if the Fae are trying to take over this world, we would need help from outside this world. Magic, fighting magic, of course. I am banished from the Fomorian court at the moment, but you had wished to go to hell, yes? The infernal realm, whatever you people call it. There is an interest you have in that way?
Yeah. You could say that.
Well,
what do you think?
We could be using that term, the one stone, to take out two of the flying rats. And you know, go there to meet some people, maybe cause a bit of mayhem. I mean, I'm not all that good, I guess. He's, trying very bad, hello, fellow kids, I am a rebel too.
uh, and she kind of, I guess we're doing like the Sorkin walk and talk, like you said, and then she kind of just stops and turns, looks at you, just like, that's not a bad idea.
I'm just worried because if Elaine's new violin, I don't know why I thought it was new, influences her down there, we may have problems. I mean, hell speaks to hell.
You think she might have been compromised? I was thinking that might be a benefit, but I don't know.
Oh,
You're the expert here.
no, just I do not know that much about demons, but I would assume they might have problems amongst themselves, and bringing one into the territory of another may cause issues.
Hmm. Yeah, we might have to take her lead on that. And she starts to walk away, but then stops and kind of turns back around, maybe catching you on as you're turning around too, maybe theoretically, and just
That's
like,
fine.
"Hey, Yuan," and maybe she takes her like face mask down for this, and she's like, "Do you know how they could have known about my aunt?"
Oh, um, there was a release of prisoners. I had to, it's trading secrets for secrets. I told them.
Hmm. She kind of just puts her mask up and just like, "Yeah, I guess that makes sense." But her entire demeanor kind of changed. And she's like, "All right, I'll check back in with you later."
And he'll walk away, thinking he's successful, not realizing that he actually did a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys break up. Eclipse heads out. There's a quick conversation between Yuan and Eclipse, and I think Elflight will come up while Yuan is out and come into the room where you are, Trinity, in your comfy chair. Trinity.
Yes, Elflight, it's good to see you again.
It's good to be seen. You have you've grown into your power.
I've grown into a power.
You do not claim it as your own?
Sure, second best.
Very confusing.
Think about it, if you were the best swords person in all of the Fey realms. And then
Say I'm not.
then you lost your arms.
It's terribly sad.
Yeah, so we'd probably get some new arms, but they still wouldn't be the same, would they?
I see. Actually, I don't see. Which part of this analogy is your arms?
The previous violin. But go on.
I see. That is a new violin. It seems darker.
Yes.
Interesting that it would choose you to wield it.
We both have a void inside. So you came for a reason, Elflight.
I find him to be a good and proper knight for the soon-to-be king. I should understand those he consorts with. I'm being subtle and asking questions to better understand you, Trinity.
Oh, all right. What are you going to ask?
the thing that I asked a few moments ago, earlier in the conversation. That was most of it.
Really?
I just assumed follow-up questions would lead me to the answer. It often does.
Oh. All right, well, follow up.
You have a void. What could fill this void?
And she sort of stops and she goes, wow. All things that are out of my reach and best that way now. It's a void that has to remain.
Has to remain. So that you can continue to wield this new violin?
No.
I see. Then you are like Eclipse. Choosing to be sad?
She goes, no, to undo it, I would have to do terrible violence to the world.
Many people have done terrible violence to the world. It survived.
Perhaps wise counsel, perhaps the very worst. I don't know which.
Well, we may have a new home. And by we, I do not mean you. I mean Yuban and myself and Amara and others.
What sort of house? Are
Well,
you moving to a new
home,
apartment?
not exactly a house, although I will be building a house because I am not going to sleep in the outdoors any longer than I have to.
So are you going to build it yourself or are you going to have it built?
If I'm able to have it built, I will have it built.
Where will this house be? Other than next door to Yuan.
Exactly. As a good knight, I should live very close to the king. You're taking over Hollowed Park.
What do I know about Hollowed Park?
Hollowed Park was, there was a fairy plague that had been going on for a number of years, and all of the Fae and half-Fae who were afflicted by it took over this small park. They were no longer welcome anywhere else, and just recently that plague was cured. So that's no longer the place, kind of the island of the lepers now. So.
And she goes, so they've all left? They have no claim on the place?
I don't know if they ever had a claim on the place. Fairies and property possession are often mixed. They're welcome to join. The Fomori are very open-minded.
Right.
I have a pseudo-dragon.
As opposed to an actual dragon?
As opposed to an actual dragon, I have a very small dragon. I cannot ride it. In fact, it often rides me. That is how open-minded I am.
How many of the Fomorians have actual dragons?
Not nearly enough. Not nearly enough to defeat the Leonin.
What will it take to defeat the Leonin?
Allies. In surprise.
Okay.
You will be a fine ally. She pat your shoulder. A very fine ally. You and the violin and your voids together will
I was
create
glad to be useful.
Just remain sad so that you are useful.
All right.
Good. And she will turn it. She's done her good job for the day. So she will
Yes.
head out of the office.
I walk out grinding my teeth. Not sad.
Nice. So Johan, when you come back in after Eclipse leaves, You see that Amara is there, and she says, Lord, Caldera wished to speak alone with Threnody.
Ah, good. She is practicing amongst her, well, humaning.
After her fashion.
Elaine is a very good target. She is almost human.
Caldera believes that Trinity would be an excellent ally in the war. Do you agree?
Of course. Especially on this plane, she is perfect.
I understand that the violin that she wields is also a portal to hell, or has its powers in that dimension.
I believe so. I believe it is the soul of a demon lord, a devil lord, a deviless, whatever titles they may have, bound into an object. Of course, I've never asked. That would be gauche.
Would you like for me to ask, my lord?
Oh, no, I assume that follow-up questions will lead me to the answers I seek one day.
One day. You must learn more about Aurum.
You think it prudent, my knight?
I do, Manish.
Oh, this is war. It is not a time to be all stuck up in fancy. Is my cousin done speaking with her yet?
Please so.
Ah,
And then Elflight comes out, slams the door, starts walking down the stairs, very confident.
yeah, I think I shall pass her. Like I think there's like a this comic sponsored by like whatever brand of beef jerky you want. Hands her for Excelsior.
Nice. She like holds up her hand. You will give me 5, cousin.
Mithril high five.
Nice. Shakes her hand a little bit.
Yeah,
Gives a thumbs up to Amara.
I think I shall boastfully stride, well, beautifully stride into the office. Chest puffed out, probably dressed completely flamboyantly for this situation still. Oh no, I'm no longer grandiose. I'm dressed in business casual. Oh no.
Athleisure,
And,
sweats and trainers.
I would learn more of my ally, Threnody. Could you tell me about Aurum?
That was a strange handoff. What do you want to know about Aurum?
And, I think, well, how, what's, is it the correct thing? They, what are them? What are they? And would it be tied to you in a manner of like the familiar, bound to your soul? And do I need to persuade you for this knowledge?
Yeah, I think maybe. I think when you ask a question like that, that might be a little close to the bone.
Yeah, persuade.
So persuade with PC versus PC. So is that under basic moves?
It is persuade someone.
Okay.
There's just some slightly different things, the results to choose from for a PC target.
Sure.
You are rolling humanity plus trust. So for you, that would be a +1.
Yes, I got, and with her as a touchstone, I got a 12 total.
Wow.
That is pretty great. On a 10 plus, both, they go along with your words, they mark XP. If they ignore your words, shift their trust by 1.
So she stops and says, I don't think I have a soul, Yuan.
Oh. Hmm. I think there's like no real judgment on his face. Like there's like that panel of him, touching his his lips, and stroking his chin. Like like everyone like thinking like there's a scene back from the Mask game of like them interacting. Oh, that makes sense.
It does. At least it does make sense. That's what I figured out. I just don't have one.
Do you wish for one?
I don't know what it would be like that's different than having subject. Or if you don't have subject, then you have Aurum. Do you
Hmm.
have a soul?
Oh, of course I do. I was born mortal. I mean, the Leonin tried to part my soul from me, but they were unsuccessful.
So you know what it feels like when it is in distress, right?
Yes,
What does that feel like?
ooh, and I think like this is like just a bit of his like fey glamour, but instead of like the sense of like sight, sound, and stuff like that, is like this just these literal expression of a soul in distress from him through fey magic. And, like this is like the one panel splash page of like all the times he was in major distress in his life.
Nice.
And I think she like looks at that sort of very clear eyed and she goes, no, that was not how it was for me.
Hmm.
I have a void.
You know, we could find a way to fill that, I suppose. I mean, again, it sounds like an amazing quest, and you are a friend.
And she stops. She goes, right now Aurum is there?
Hmm. What happens when Orm goes away? Or escapes?
Aurum has not stated a goal.
That worries me.
Till he states a goal, they can't get out of it, can he?
No. Would it oh would it cause trouble if we were to go to hell for any reason?
No, I've been there many times.
Oh, that is a weight off my shoulders then.
I go and bargain.
If we were to do Maya's quest in hell, would that cause problems?
Yes, because she has no clarity of what she wants.
Well, at least it adds more excitement again.
She will get herself bound to hell if she doesn't get a clear sense of what it is that she wants.
Mm, I don't think that is what she wants, the bound to hell thing. I have been a poor friend. We should do something for her.
She lost her aunt. It is like I lost Junior. You cannot get them back so easily.
I think he doesn't really understand that because he loses his parents every cycle and they come back. It's like he really does not have a concept of like being afraid of losing your parents or like people close to you like that. Like even with Janos, like he may have an idea, but it's like the teenage sense of immortality. It hasn't hit.
And she sort of stops and she kind of looks at you and she goes, that is an emptiness that never fills.
think I think he will nod, but he is in denial. But he's thinking now of like when he will outlive Janosch, and he is has much more convictions of bringing the Fey court to the mortal realm now.
Okay. She sort of stops and says, but yes, I can go to hell. I can bargain in hell. But Maya will be easy pickings unless she knows exactly what she wants.
Transfer to Maya, walking to the whatever she's doing, right?
Yeah. Before we transfer, you two were up in the manager's office, right? That's in a level above. The door opens up, and you see Elflight, and she says, "My liege has trouble," and then we cut away, and we hear like, "Well, sorry, my liege, there's trouble." Then you hear some kind of onomatopoeia for an explosion behind them. Then we cut away. So Maya, you go to. Are you actually going to go to talk to Captain Miklas? Crack-a-boom is perfect. That's a great onomatopoeia. Thank you.
Yeah, I think and I think I want to try to do the. I don't know if it's I don't know if you want to make a scene of getting there, but I think if not, what do you think, Rich?
Oh, I was going to ask: is this a thing where Eclipse comes into Captain Miklas's office, or Captain Miklas is like in an alleyway or up on a rooftop? Where do you meet with Captain Miklas?
Okay, perfect. I think I was gonna try to Jim Gordon her and just kind of appear in like her office somewhere.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah.
So her
There's
office,
an open window inexplicably.
totally open window. No fire escape because that'd be too easy. But open window, that's all you need. And her office is a little on the small side. Like Precinct 13 is basically where the bad cops go to die.
Yeah.
HR won't let you fire certain cops, so they end up getting assigned here. And Captain Miklas just makes do with minimum budget, the worst possible workers, and them having to deal with some crazy, crazy shit. In her office, you see that there's like there's like a hand with these candle wicks on it, and you see there are all kinds of spooky books and the like, and there's like this tapestry from some bygone things, a bunch of weird stuff. And you sneak in, and she's currently hunkered over a very old computer. She's literally got one of the giant CRT monitors, and she's clacking away. It's one of those clackety keyboards. And when you come in, you're there for a moment before she stops. Like she sensed you, even though she hasn't seen you. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. If I can add to that, maybe if we're seeing this in the panel, she's clacking on this keyboard, and then we can see the reflection, from the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when kind of Eclipse kind of appears in the reflection, and she's like, "What? Who's that?"
Nice. Yeah. That's perfect. I love that. That doesn't make her look weak, and it makes you look awesome. I love it. So she turns real quickly. So you can see she's like reaching for something, and she sees you. She's.
I heard you had something to talk to me about.
What the hell? I asked you guys as a favor. I asked Venus. Actually, I didn't ask you. Because I know what happens when you get involved in things, Eclipse. You mess people up. You break things. Sure, you helped us find the mayor. But now everybody knows that wasn't the mayor. Do you know how many different laws are currently in the process of being written now? They're talking about doing blood tests of all the officials. This is insane. These people are freaking out now. You have turned everything upside down. I asked you guys for just a little bit of consideration. She never trusted Venus. She's too presentational. thought she could have kept you under some kind of corral.
If you want to keep the fact that the city's top leaders were converted to some kind of, I don't even know what you want to call it, but an evil extra dimensional force, then I don't think anyone can keep that under wraps ethically.
Ethical. Don't talk to me about ethics. We're not even going to go down that road. We need to keep a lid on things. It's my job to make sure that people don't lose their shit going to work every day because of all the weird stuff that happens in this stupid town. Someone kidnapped and replaced our mayor. Now people are like, what else can be kidnapped and replaced?
Yeah,
It's
and we
all over.
fixed that.
Did you? Are you sure? Because once that cat's out of the bag, put it back in. Even if you did, how do you prove it to these people? These people who didn't know it was coming. And now they've been told what went down. And there were a lot of people that got, right? A lot. Now we say, oh, it's all good now. Eclipse and that crazy fairy prince and the violin girl all fixed it. It's fine. Go back to your lives, people. You think they will?
Listen, Captain, I respect you. I've heard of you before. You're pretty smart. Rumors say I'm pretty smart too. I don't know if I would believe them. But you know what? You know who's not smart? Every ignorant person who had no idea what was going on. And now they have a reason to question what's going on. If someone that they suspect they could easily write off in other situations, now they have a reason to question it and maybe bring it to higher authorities. I just did you a favor. Blood could have been on your hands, but now people are going to look into things that are suspicious more than they would. You should know that more than anybody, looking at all these weird things around the room.
I don't think we have I don't think this is direct confrontation, although it feels like that.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that thing again where I'm just doing the scene and not looking at the...
No, it's good. No. But I think we've reached a point where we're doing some kind of move. So first of all, let's look and
Maybe
see if
persuade
you've got a move. It might be persuade. That might be where we end up with. You're not disguising yourself. You don't have a villain at determination, and it's not your toys. So we haven't hit anything that's specific to your playbook. So I think you're just trying to persuade her that this isn't as bad as she thinks it is. Grounding ourselves? No, I don't know. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Let's see what the results of ground yourself are to see if that could fit. I don't think so, but I'd love to take a look at it. Accept it to me. See, take time to ground yourself. Remind yourself while you do this. Frame a quick scene of one of your touchstones. Well, I don't think you have a touchstone with the captain, so that couldn't apply, but that's a very interesting thing. So, yeah, we'll go with persuade. Let's see if you persuade her at this point. So go ahead and roll with humanity plus trust, which for you is...
We're suggesting reach out to your allies. Let me read this to you.
You bring your current problems to your allies seeking help or information. Are you?
Oh, yeah. Maybe if she counts as my ally, maybe we could do that.
If that's what you want, like if you think you're asking for her, it seems like she's telling you all of these problems have come to my doorstep now because of the way that you did the thing that you did. If you want to flip that and seek help or information from her, then we could do that.
Yeah. What were you about to say, Rich? The persuade.
Yeah, it felt like persuade was not the best fit, but a possibility. So
it might be reach out to your allies if she's one of the allies.
Well, let's hit it.
I kind of buy that.
Let's hit it. Let's see if she's She's open to that. Go ahead and roll. No stat, but touchstones can boost you. So
Oh, interesting. Well, I may have ruined this for myself. But let's see how it goes. Oh, and I did. It's a 6.
nasty. Also, I did confer with Jen just a moment ago. So if you have to use a touchstone to get yourself somewhere, you actually spend that touchstone, meaning you have to regain that person mechanically as a touchstone in order to be able to use that to boost your rolls. It's not like influence in masks. It's a little bit different. So just something to be mindful of and something I'll remind you guys of going forward. All right. So a 6. That is great. Here's the deal. She points out to you how you acted with the best intentions, but in a way you violated this city's trust. So I'm going to push your trust down by 1, from a 1 to a 0. And she says, I'll clean up your mess. Again, you saved the mayor. I'm not saying you didn't. You saved a lot of people. I'm not saying you didn't. Just questioning your methods, Eclipse. You are a blunt object. And sometimes it takes a little finesse.
Yeah, well,
you can go. And she turns her back on you and like starts trying to clack away. Like she's not actually working on her report anymore, but she's trying to dismiss you. What do you do?
And I think she walks up to that window, and then before she goes, she's got like, of course, the panel is like her back, and she's got like, the profile. You can just see of her face. She's turning around. She's like, well, if if the people that were supposed to protect us didn't let it get to that point, maybe this wouldn't have been such a problem. Then she jumps out the window.
Nice. As you jump out the window.
Because she always has to have the last word.
I know. And that's a good last word, actually. I really like that last word. So like you're flying down and, does Eclipse have a cape? Yeah, she's got like a cloak cape kind of, so the cape is like flying up and everything, and you're about to land, and that's when Donnie D comes in and says, hey, I don't know if a missile or something just hit Yuan's warehouse, but you need to get back there fast.
Yeah, and then of course it's just like the asterisk $sign. Like
that's right. Cool. So we cut back to Yuan and Threnody as you guys, the door was open and Elflight was there, and Amara has drawn that short sword seconds before this explosion to say she thinks it's serious because she's going to whip out the cold iron thing that will cause her pain as she wields it. The explosion is something came through the top of the warehouse and landed. We have a whole panel of like dust, and you see this silhouette. And then when the dust clears, in a nice, beautiful panel, we see this person, who is a guy by the name of Regent. No, I don't want to do that. I want to unshare. There, stop share. Guy by the name of Regent. And he looks around and he spots the two of you. And then he jumps and starts to fly towards you. What do you do?
Is that an attack?
It sure seems like an attack is coming.
Essentially, I think that all of the workshop will rise up between us and him. If that makes any sense, I'm just going to pull with object animation those things up. So he's got to maneuver through that, if that makes any sense.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Let's see you wield your powers.
Okay. What do I roll to wield my powers?
Wield your powers. When you wield your powers with purpose to shift the situation, roll with power. This is a confidence-aligned move. So your confidence is a -2. Your power is a 2. So you're rolling flat. And gosh, somebody shift that track up for you and be nice. I'm mean. I took that.
I rolled a 5. But just a minute, let me check here. No,
Sure, sure.
I don't get anything. Yeah, it doesn't work for that. That's for sure.
Okay.
So I start to pull it up, and yeah, just does
Oh
not.
yeah, sweet. So when you start to pull it up, is this a thing where you think that you use Aurum to, like, you summon Aurum, or are you doing it with your bare hands? What is it?
No, it probably is Aurum.
One of the strings of Aurum snaps, and all the stuff after it lifted up, it like kind of vibrates for a second and crashes to the ground.
I say, and I kind of curse under my, under my breath, and I'm like, "Oh, who did you do a deal with?"
Nice. And this thing is coming straight at you, Yuan Baylor. What are you doing? So actually, Eclipse would know all these things. You guys aren't the studious type for knowing particular superheroes. So unless you think that you have studied Regent, who is a mostly works by himself, good guy superhero, then we'll just have him attack you.
Oh, no, I haven't studied this.
All right. Awesome.
But I think I know enough by his looks that I can't take him on alone. I think I'm going to have to start setting up a coordinated maneuver or coordinated effort.
Fun. Coordinated effort. When a team brings coordinated tactics to a conflict or battle, which as a defender you're real good at doing, the outcomes are different than when they're acting independently. The team commits to a strategy. What's your strategy?
My strategy is to allow myself and my 2 new knights to distract the regent or at least hold off the regent while Threnody finds the spell that will take him down.
Cool. I like it. Sweet. So when the first person to have the momentum takes action, they may serve. If they do so, they will pass the momentum to another player of their choice. So here's how we're going to reflect that. I'm going to go ahead and just do a screen share of this screen, and we'll just use this as our momentum tracker. So we've got Eclipse here. Move into the middle. And I know that this all looks different on your screens, and I'm sorry, but if we just use this as our main thing. So right now, the momentum, the Mo is with Fomorian. And so I'll be bouncing between the die roller and this. So when you have the momentum and you take action, you serve. If you do so, you pass the momentum to another player of their choice. And by the way, Eclipse, you can basically, after one circle of these guys, if you want to come right into the action, I think that would be super fun because it's comics and physics are our ally or our slave. Doesn't matter. And then, so we'll be moving momentum around, and you guys will be taking either basic or playbook moves as part of that. Once you choose to, you can set or you can set up, which means that the next person who gets momentum has to spike. But spike is a great way to finish off big time villains. So that's a brief thing. The best way to think of this order of actions are serve, volley, or set. You can volley as many times as you want. Once someone sets, the next person needs to spike. And to spike, you spend all the momentum into a specific role that is this right here. So we'll just, I'll create a clock. I'll create a clock. Where's the clock? Where's the clock? Crap. Oh, okay. I'll just call it this. I'll call it the momentum. All right. Hopefully that description made enough sense. And so, Yuan Baylor, you are about to be tackled by the Regent.
Can I get this? Can we stop screen sharing so I can look at the basic moves?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No
I
problem.
didn't realize that shut you out. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to directly engage with my knights.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Directly confront. When you engage in direct confrontation, roll with daring. This is a confidence aligned move. You happen to be confidence 1 and daring 1, so you get to roll 2d6 plus 2, and you are not overconfident for some reason. Why are you not overconfident? That's a failure on my part.
I got a 12.
What? On a 10 plus, choose 2.
I definitely resist or avoid their blows.
Good call. Awesome. So, what does the resisting or avoiding their blows look like? Because you can weave both your knights in. Is it a thing where elf light helps you to resist those blows by engaging and giving him alternate targets, or do you think it's
I don't know, I think like he's running it. Like I think the mithril arm comes up, like the
Cool.
wires
Yeah.
and everything about it. Like the hand turns into a shield. The wires brace against the entire room,
Mm-hmm.
and the regent just tackles into this shield and cannot get through the indestructible mithril, which will
Nice.
set up the next part of creating an opening for which I think is Amara and Elflight striking at the regent when he's momentarily distracted by this door.
Nice. So they attack him. Elf light coming from the side and slicing across, and Amara dashing up the stairs and leaping the last few moments in a little like wuxia style to slice at him as well. Now you need to pass the momentum. You only have one real target, so are you good to pass the momentum to Threnody?
Yes, I am.
All right, cool. So let's make sure we've got this. So you add 1 to momentum to the pool, so that costs you a team, but you are built for this. So there you go. And now the momentum, I'm moving the little thing over to Threnody in our tracker. So Threnody.
So the thing is I had to figure out how to bring this guy down. So I actually need to unmask him to understand why he's doing what he's doing or to find his weakness. But I think
Nice.
to do that, I want to know why he's doing this. And she literally call out, "Why are you attacking us?" So, and I guess I'm rolling with a +1 then, I think, yes. But trust of 1 and humanity is 0. So that's a 9.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that effort. So with a 9 on unmask someone, you get to ask 1 question.
Let's see here. There's no why.
I know you have to use those questions. It's not fair.
I know. It's how could I get your character to stand down?
Nice. And the what was it that she said? Why, or what was it?
Yeah, why are you attacking us? She's literally like, sort of, they're still on the steps. They've jumped down because, of course, they're Fae and it's a fight. And she's like standing there like, why?
Sweet. And he hammers away. There's like a small contained explosion that shifts Yuan back, but he's able to withstand those blows. And he says, "You killed him! You killed him!" He is furious. And what it would take is how can you get to your character to stop fighting? He thinks that you have killed someone important to him. He blames the 2 of you specifically.
All right.
Now, to roll back into the teamwork moves.
Yes.
I would recommend that you volley back to Fomorian.
Yes.
So that will cost you a team. So go ahead and mark off a team. And
Yes.
now the momentum pool is at 2. And so now, Fomorian, you and your 2 knights are fighting Regent, but and there was an opening there for him. He's taken some wounds. Mechanically, he's lost some of his determination from being attacked by your knights. What do you wish to do now?
Oh, let's see. I believe I'm either going to continue directly engaging, or I may be safeguarding Thrinity by putting
Ooh,
myself between the Regent and them.
I like that. Yeah, that feels right. So if you want to make sure that Trinity doesn't, because I was about to say actually, he's realized, oh, you got a big shield. She's here. I'm going to shift focus. So yes, if you want to safeguard Trinity, that would be wise.
Yeah, so I think like he runs like into the shield, like it wraps around, becomes his arm again, and he's like trying to just choke slam the Regent, or like lift the Regent up and like make his shadow extend like through the entire warehouse to set up for Eclipse.
Nice. So when you defend someone or something from an immediate threat, roll with power. This is a trust aligned move. So the Fomorian, you have a 0 trust, and you're rolling with power, which is also 0. So it's a flat roll for you.
That is a 5.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. He is fast. And you move to try to get ahead of him, and he immediately shifts his whole, like, because he can fly, he can kind of shift and pivot. And you opened yourself up by pulling down the shield to try to body slam him. He grabs you and he throws you at Elflight. And you slam into Elflight, and there's guardrails because this is not an Imperial facility in Star Wars. She slams through the guardrails that kind of rip off, and I need you to weather a blow.
That'll be with a +1 because of my confidence, I believe.
Correct. Yeah, whichever is the furthest from 0.
That is a 9.
All right. So on a 7 to 9, choose one of the following. A foe gains an opportunity. The MC shifts one of your tracks by 1. You lose a relevant touchstone.
I think you shift one of my tracks, which...
Yeah, you got tricked. I think this affects your confidence. I'm going to take your confidence back down to 0. I'm doing it. I did it. I did that. Rolling back up to the not teamwork, but coordinated effort. Do you want to spend a momentum and pass it to Eclipse, who's about to make her dramatic entrance?
I do, since I have too much team.
I know. Go ahead and spend that team. The momentum pool is up. No. Do you want to volley to Eclipse, or do you want to set Eclipse? So if you set Eclipse, then when Eclipse comes on the scene, she's got to spike, which is kind of awesome, but also a lot of pressure.
How much pressure do you want, Eclipse?
Not that much.
Okay, then I shall volley.
Okay.
Oh, okay, fun. Sweet. So now we move this from, it went to Fomori, and now it's over to Eclipse. Eclipse, you said you just took a move that lets you teleport in shadow. So how do you appear on the scene with this fight? Regent and Yuan Baylor and Elflight all slam into the ground in the middle of the warehouse here, amid the forge, like right by the forge.
Yeah, so I think I took this every problem is a nail. So I think she is going to try and wield her powers. Maybe she what you said, Donnie D kind of said, oh, there's a problem over here. And maybe she even sees on the like horizon, like somewhere elsewhere in the city, like this explosion happening.
Yeah.
And just like the smoke like rising, and she's like trying to do her like, oh, I got to get over there. If only like swing through her, like grappling kind of stuff, like Batman style. Just like, I gotta get. I'm not gonna make it in time. I wish I could. Oh my gosh! And then theoretically, I think she's gonna swing just into the shadows, and the shadows kind of envelop her. This is a new use of her power, right? So
Yeah.
let's see how this works. It's theoretically the first time she uses this. Although even on a miss, I get to teleport, so that's fine.
You're stuck at a real GM while wielding your powers. Add the following to a list of choices: help or fear, move any place you want, choosing the scene, breaking or slipping past any barriers in your way. That is cool.
All right, but some good news. I rolled really well. I think wield my powers is with.
Yes, wield your powers is a confidence relying move, and it is with power, of course.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Of course.
Why not?
So that gives me a 10. Perfect.
Wow, that is wicked. All right, on a 10 plus, you get to choose 2. Take hold of something vulnerable to you, create something useful from your environment, neutralize an opponent or threat, at least for now. And then let's see, you can add the following to the list of choices and gain an additional choice even on a miss. Make someone present in the scene a touchstone. Your disguise. Oh, sorry, I'm reading Clever Disguise. What the crap am I doing? Sorry. Sorry.
So it's all the way at the end. Yeah, it's a help or interfere with someone as though you had spent team, or move any place you choose in the scene, breaking through or slipping past any barriers in your way. That's the one I'm looking for.
Okay, cool. So you use that to appear on the scene, and then you get 2 other choices from wield your powers, which is on row 56 of basic moves. What do you want to do?
All right, so I had some time to think about this. So I'm thinking, first of all, she kind of just envelops into this shadow and kind of just appears maybe to where Regent, I think next to Threnody, because I have an idea here, kind of just appears out of shadows. Eclipse kind of shocked at first, but then like sees what's going on and assesses everything. This isn't her first rodeo, and she's like, all right, Threnody, do you remember Hope Prep? That one drill we did? We got maybe drill 1445. Ready? And I think I'm going to try to hopefully, let's see. Well, oh yeah, I do get another build the powers, but I was thinking I'm setting her up to do the combined. Oh man, what is that called? Combine your strengths thing. All right, but actually I forgot. I have to pick one of these two. This could help. I get so many options. Oh, okay. Well, I'm really trying to neutralize an opponent or threat, at least for now. Okay. But I don't know. Let me know if this works. I'm thinking this move that she just referenced is kind of an overwhelm your opponent's senses, because I think Eclipse is going to try to just make him blind, and she's kind of giving Threnody the wink and nod to overwhelm his hearing, so that we can kind of neutralize him for a minute, and hopefully that'll set up any of the Fae to take him out while he's otherwise distracted.
All right.
Does that work?
Then it works. What I'm going to do is not roll that into a because combine your strengths, almost like pocketing in a teamwork within a teamwork. So what I'll do is, because you chose neutralize an opponent, we'll just say that's the effect, and Threnody and you do that teamwork to neutralize the opponent without having to roll dice, because you're choosing that option from wielding your power so well and coordinating with them. So the narrative,
100% sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So to roll back into the combine your efforts, do you want to set Threnody or Yuan to be able to try to take him out because he is currently blinded?
Oh yeah, if Threnody and I do that, man, yeah.
You can set to whoever you want.
Yuan, are you okay with being set? All right, setting to Yuan.
Okay, so you need to spend a team.
Mhm.
And so that will take the momentum pool up to 4. Threnody, with one less string on Aurum, you play and activate enough to blind Regent as he stands up, and it looks like he was trying to strike Yuan, but then he's blinded and neutralized by this sudden appearance of Eclipse and you teaming up together. And Yuan, you have the perfect opportunity here. You've been set, and if you choose to spike, you can engage the when you spike move, which you get to roll with the total momentum pool. What does that look like? What do you do?
Oh, I think he lashed out his hand, like he had the long extendo mithril arm for a second, keeping a hold of Elflight to keep them like from falling off the ledge completely. And he just retracts the arm as quick as he can, flinging her up so she strikes the Regent first, and he comes up behind her with this Mortal Kombat-esque uppercut to try and knock him out completely.
You can. All right, go ahead and roll 2d6. You get to add the +4 from the momentum pool. Is that a 4?
Only an 8. Only an 8.
All right. Thank goodness you had a +4. All right. So on a 7 to 9 with a spike, you get to choose one. Run a villain out of determination or KO them if they're already out. He is not out of determination. Someone gets a team back, your choice. Shift your confidence or trust. What do you choose?
I'm running him out of determination.
Awesome. So you and Elflight team up together, and you run him out of determination. It doesn't knock him out, but you've knocked a lot of the fight out of him. He falls to his knees. He looks around. He's still angry, but you can tell that the fight has left him, and he is looking for some way to escape, to fight again another day.
And I think Serenity kind of comes up to him. She goes, "We haven't killed anyone. Who has told you this? Who has died?"
He peers at you for a long moment. My adopted son, my protege. He has been murdered. You sit here and you deign to lie to me? I know of your darkness.
I am very dark, but I have killed no one. Not this day, not yesterday, not the day before.
I saw you and him, the two of you.
What were we supposedly doing? Because whoever set this up is now our enemy. So I need you to tell me everything.
My son sent me a message. He said he was in trouble. When I came, I was too late. You were there, and you as well, the two of you together. And I saw you take a knife, cut his throat in front of me, laughed and disappeared.
This is but a Leonid mummery. They have played you. I have good news, though. I believe your son still lives, but is captured.
Where is my son?
Well, that is for us to find out now, I suppose.
I think you were trying to persuade him, because he's still, like, he's listening right now, but he's still very confused and angry about this. Your leverage is that he's holding on to the hope that maybe his son isn't dead. So go ahead, You're not tricking, you're persuading. Roll with trust plus humanity.
That is an 8.
Nice. All right. On a 7 to 9, they'll need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first. How am I to believe you? I know better than to believe Threnody, who carries around a piece of hell with her.
You
You are from some other dimension. I have known that the many fairies that I've known in my day, they are all clever liars. Eclipse, do you vouch for these two? Do you give me your word that they are not lying, trying to trick me?
There are few that I trust more than them. If you trust me, you can trust them. I vouch for them, absolutely.
But I'll take you at your word. I can seek my vengeance at another time. If you say that my son is alive, then I would find him and free him and take vengeance on those who did this, if they are not you.
And I think like there's like this like you turn the page and it's like him he's gotten up, he's like gotten better, like we this like they told them about the Leon and she.
Yeah, I think there was maybe a moment where Amara is not as honorable as Elflight would stab him in the throat, but Amara is like hovering behind him, and she gives you the look, Gilwan, of like, do I stab him in the back right now? Because I have an opening. I'm Leon and she trained, so I know that I could just like, right? Like, yeah, do you want me to backstab him? And I assume that Gilwan's like, oh, no. And he's like, okay. So she does not. And Regent trusts in your word, Eclipse, but your word is on the line here. But he'll accept, at least for now, to hold off. And
Yeah, I think Threnody asked questions. Where was this? Where was it? When was it?
Yeah, who is your son?
He says, I have a secret identity as immortal. My son is not of my blood because there are none of my blood any longer. I had adopted him and was training him in the ways of fighting against evil. He was a ward and a beloved member of my family. If you wish, I will trust in the three of you that you will hold this, the five of you, that you will hold this secret identity. But I will show you where it took place. Perhaps you can find more clues.
Some trace.
Come. And then he takes off and flies up through the hole and will like hover above. And I think maybe that's where we bring this issue to a close.
Yeah.
All right,
The
good
whole
break.
thing where we can see Threnody going, I kind of wish we still had sometimes.
Cool. All right.
Just
So
Don't be foolish. He knows only
so-
sees 3.
I was gonna say, just make sure Yuan can't hear it, but yeah.
you miss the horsey. Who doesn't miss the horsey?
I know.
All right, let's do our end of session stuff, friends. Okay. So the two sets of questions are now just one end of session, and now one is for the end of story arc. Because this is a to be continued issue, we just will go with the end of session. At the end of the session, take a moment to reflect on how the events of the game went and what big changes happened or seemed to be on their way. Choose a teammate and ask them one of the questions. How did my actions affect the community? How did I affect the team this session? Or how did I affect you this session? After they have answered, they shift one of your tracks by one. Is anyone ready to go?
Eclipse, I admitted I betrayed your trust. How did I affect you this session?
Yeah, I think. Oh, man. It's interesting. I don't know if this is on a character level or player level or what, but I think she was pretty disturbed about that. She's when things settle down, she's got to have some words with you on about this. She's not okay with this. And oh, and I get to shift one of your tracks, right? I feel your trust got to go down, right?
Oh my, negative trust for Fomorian. Oh, this is
Sorry.
Just saw that thing show up as negative. That's nasty. All right. Then Eclipse, who do you want to ask?
Yeah, let's see. I don't know. I guess we'll keep the volley-esque thing going. Threnody, how did that's a good one. How did Eclipse affect the team this session? Here's something I have no idea of the answer to.
So that's an interesting thing because you're definitely working through all of your family things and background and stuff. Kept on rolling. So I'm going to say I kind of think that actually, because Yuan and I have a disagreement about the whole hell thing, that there's a sort of shaky thing there of me going, this isn't a good idea for her to go there. And he's going, but she wants to go there, and so she should. So I might say maybe, is it trust? Yeah, probably trust goes down a little bit. One hardly can understand.
Oh man, everybody's
totally
losing
makes
some
sense.
trust.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. And so then Threnody, who?
Well, we'll just do the whole right back to Yuan then. And I'll say, let's see here, Yuan, how do you think Threnody affected the team?
I think you brought us all together by you found like the major missing piece. Like, we had like the edge pieces all together, but you got the rest of the puzzle in place of why this is happening.
Okay.
So your trust goes up.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Just like all the weird things, all extremes.
Crazy town. All right, friends. That will bring the mechanical part of our session to a close. So I will go ahead and stop the live stream, and then we'll do a little bit of post-game feedback after off air. So thank you all so much, and we will continue this issue. All right, continue with a new issue next week. Thank you all.